does it say in the song YMCA? You can get a nice meal and you can do whatever you feel. Yeah, don't think this shit is on the lower levels. It emanates from the upper levels. So just so we're clear about this finger thing, and just so you know, I'm kind of jumping around a little bit, but here's another picture that had no explanation with it. I know what it is. Remember what I told you? That 9/11 was a representation of what happens to a child's brain when they get sodomized. Now, isn't it funny that you have a picture of a baby and she's pointing right in between the two halves? And notice she has a circle. That circle, that stupid ass bullshit song by Elton John, The Circle of Life, Disney's bullshit story. The circle of life is when you're damned. You keep going around and around and around, and guess what? For all you people that think Ezekiel's wheel is a flying fucking saucer, it isn't. He said when the wheels went, it went not. Because what it is a spiral. And it's a wheel within a wheel within a wheel within a wheel. For lack of a better word, they've sodomized this reality. People are dumber now than ever. We're not moving an inch forward. And they celebrate that. Whoever made this picture got it exactly right. Except nobody's got the balls to bring this shit out into the public and say it. Well, I am. You took away my girlfriend. I know I've said this a million times, but the fact of the matter is, I didn't even get any closure on this shit. I don't know if she's in an urn. I don't know if she's in a mausoleum. I don't know if she's walking around downtown. If anybody in Rhode Island that watches this, her address is 171 Stubbtown Road, Hopkinton. Rhode Island ain't that big. Somebody knows something. And what I'm doing here is not only just appealing to the public, I'm educating on you how trafficking works and why all of this is. Somebody needs to put this shit out, so I'm going to. And I don't care who it hurts. This is primarily meant for the father of Stephanie. So just so they know that I know how this shit works, because I got a strong suspicion that Stephanie's this Stiago Frabkis and Hesiod Frabkis, and it comes back to those guys. I'm sorry, she had to have known. How could she? Maybe not. I don't know. If she was programmed, which is what I'm trying to show you how this works. That's why I'm saying this isn't going to be the last one. There's probably going to be a part 5, 6, 7, and 8 on how this shit works and who's behind it and why they're behind it. The first two were more or less for the father, Paul, which we ain't even looked into him yet. That's coming. Just so you know, Paul, I'm not trying to ruin your day, but you fucking rained on my parade. You didn't even have the fucking decency to fucking talk to me on the phone, which makes you look like you're part of this. Because I don't think there's anybody listening to this that if some guy had been with your daughter and was talking to her 3-4 times a day and texting for 2 years, almost 2 years, you don't want to know anything that I know more about her. I knew more about Stephanie at the time of her death or missing or whatever than her own family did. But she was my wife for that entire time. She was like my kid, my sister, and my wife all at the same time. Yet they don't want to know anything. No, you know why? Because they don't want it. They don't want me asking questions. Because if they're up front, they won't be able to answer them. So what do? You don't say anything. Like when you go to court and you don't want to plead guilty, what do you say? No contest. You're not saying you're guilty, but you're legally saying you're guilty. By turning your back on me and denying me any type of closure, it makes me think that you're in on this, Paul. It really does. And with that fucking child trafficking bitch, Amy Laska, which, by the way, I haven't gotten to this yet, but there's an intermarriage between those two families. As a matter of fact, one of the bitches, remember when I told you before the FBI came down, I showed you guys? where they shut down the page on the 3rd, after I said I was going to bring the names of all the pedophiles. The one with her head against the mirror, is her last maiden name is Silva, the same as Stephanie's. Again, I'm gonna say this: it's child trafficking, child ritual murder, and child programming, and that's being done by the government. That's why the FBI came in and stopped me from getting up there. Those guys just don't show up because it's fun for them. You kind of got to do something to get the FBI and the state police to come to your house. And so, well, they did slow me down. I didn't make it, but guess what? This is even better, because once I start sending these thumb drives out all over the world, people are going to start looking and going, yeah, what really was going on there? Where's all the video footage? There's tons more. So these are actual, we went over this, right? We know that this is a dick. This is from 9/11. Footage of the buildings on the ground and everything. Isn't this interesting? Doesn't that look just like a big dick and two balls? And notice this guy's laying here, and you see where his ass is. Well, it's not a big dick and balls, but it was shot that way on purpose. Really, this is the guy's head, and that's his shoulder. When I tell you that that's what this is, that's what it is. I spent a third of my life looking at this stuff and studying it. I'm a researcher of the occult. I don't participate in it, and believe me, I've been approached. And most recently, about 6 months ago, asking me to stop making videos, telling me that I was starting to get underneath people's skin. So, anyway, no, I'm not going to stop. Matter of fact, I'm going to get worse. I'm going to make more, and expose this shit to the public. Anyhow, but you see the optical illusion here, and they wanted that. They shot it like that. They shoot this stuff because they're insane, and it's their logo. It's their everything. See, that wasn't by accident. I'm just throwing this one in just to throw it in so you guys get the gist of it. Here's Sir Fentanyl. Remember him? Saint Fentanyl? George, whatever his name was. Remember him? George Floyd? I would have preferred Pink Floyd, but in this case, we'll take him. You want to tell me why Saint Fentanyl here has a little beach ball that looks just like this dude over here? Actually got the same thing on there? Same eyebrows and all of that? You guys are going to come to find out, and I guarantee you they're the ones that are involved in this thing with Stephanie. These dudes have their fucking mitts and everything. And if there ain't nothing bad going on, they create it because they profit from it. Just saying, that's what it is. At some point, you're going to have to believe me because the amount of evidence is overwhelming. What are the chances that this guy would have a ball that looks just like this guy? And here we are. Let's just take a look at this whole thing, the mind programming of generations, and the whole flipping the sex thing. Yeah, it's the same culprits. See the color? In case you didn't know, this is Bill Gates. Maybe now you know why he wants to kill everybody. And the balloons he's holding looks like a big dick. You're starting to get the gist of this. Here's the pedophilia color. Here's the balloons that look like